it's ErnieCIII and welcome to today's video. So, let me address this real quick. I know that a lot of Clash Royale YouTube channels have their own webcam series, such as this, and I want to make mine unique to my own channel. So what I want to start doing is that with every episode, I want to start building my own deck, trying it out, and then letting you guys try it in the comments section, and you guys can give me feedback on how it went. So, and that would actually help because maybe one day we can actually spark a meta deck, which would be really cool. So today is a deck that I built. I really like Goblin Giant. Yes, I know it's weak, or well, some say it's weak. However, it actually just got buffed. But even from its release, I really enjoyed this card because of the pressure that it has, because of the kiting that it can do. It's just it's an epic card. So let me show you guys how I built this deck. So obviously we have our win condition, which is the Goblin Giant. Now you'll always want to have either a large spell and a small spell. Small spell obviously being like a cheap spell. So for this one I used the giant snowball instead of the log, mainly because I want the snowball to actually help my miner, so it can actually reach my miner. Usually if you use a log and they use a goblin gang higher up on the tower, it doesn't really work out. So, and plus, I love using the giant snowball for its knockback mechanics and for everything that it does. I'm going to be using poison, so that pairs up well with my miner. I'm going to be using the Dark Prince not only to help pressure with the Goblin Giant, but I'm also going to be using it just because it's a great mini tank, especially with that shield and with its splash damage. I really love it. Again, my favorite mini tank. I'm going to use guards, love them. Shields, great. Spell resistant, my favorite swarm card, along with the skeleton. Along with the skeletons, they're pretty much tied. We got the Hunter, which is my favorite tank buster. We have the Magic Archer, my favorite support card. And both of these actually work well as anti-air. Usually, and this is just usually, not always, but I usually like to have two anti-air cards. Anti-air meaning they target air and they can bust air cards. And then also for my wild card here, I want to have my miner that I can use to pressure or to use to bait out certain Goblin Giant counters, such as mini Pekkas or even Pekkas if they get stingy enough to use them on my miner. So when I use this deck for the first 4 times in a row, I won 4 times in a row for the first few, I just repeated myself, but I was actually pretty blown away because not only were we able to get these 4 wins straight in a row for the first time using this, but the first deck I came across was actually a Pekka deck, and I was able to win with it. Credit kind of goes to the Magic Archer, and I think you know what I mean. So I'm going to show you all 2 wins and 1 losses, just like in the previous video. By the way, this episode is actually pre-recorded before the first episode releases, so I'll probably get your guys' feedback within the next episode or the episode after that. So let's jump right into this battle, the Pekka counter deck battle. It's kind of typical for Larry to throw this at me the first time using a deck, and they already give me a counter deck. But I was actually able to do really, really well. So let me skip this just a bit so I can see where the first move came in. Okay, so this was the first mistake right here. I made the first move. Usually you do not want to make the first move because that will just end up with the enemy counter pushing. Especially with him placing his Mega Minion so early. So I'm going to take care of it with this miner with my mini tank, aka the Dark Prince. And instead of countering that Mega Minion, I'm just going to let the Mega Minion take that damage, especially with the Dark Prince's shield. Now for some reason, instead of allowing his Electro-Wizard that he already put down, stun that Dark Prince, he puts down his Goblin Hut and just wastes it away, not only with my poison, but because the Dark Prince was able to land a swing on there. So that gives me a really good advantage right there. He just completely wasted a card, and he probably would have had more than full Elixir by now, and would have been able to attack. So, I'm going to build up Elixir by putting my Goblin Giant behind me, but look what he does here. He's going to put down his Pekka. This is game over, right? Not for me, because I have my Magic Archer right in cycle. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put my Magic Archer right behind my Goblin Giant, and he's going to start laying a boatload of damage. Unfortunately, the Goblin Giant's going to push him out of the way, but even then, he zaps my Magic Archer and uses a miner. That couldn't have been more of a waste right there, ladies and gentlemen. That's just like giving me a free advantage right there. right? Right, and that's what I want. I know I'm going to be able to finish this Pekka and Mega Minion combo, so I'm just going to put my Hunter right here, and he cleans all that up. Not only does he clean it up, though, he's going to go over here and land 2 shotgun shells, both here and here. And it makes it so that it makes it so that the hut spawns no more spear goblins. And now we're at 60 seconds left. I'm pretty sure he was anticipating my miner right there, which I did have in cycle. Now look what I'm going to do here. Now at this point, I'm going to start trying to bait out his Pekka. And just like last time, I wanted to make it so that his Pekka was baited out. So now I have my Dark Prince here with his shield and being safe and all. I want to use my Goblin Giant immediately on the left-hand side, especially since he keeps committing troops to that right-hand lane. Now all I have to do is put my Hunter right in that perfect spot, and he's going to take care of that Pekka, no problem. And he even wastes his Electro Wizard right at the bridge for no reason. And yeah, this was a pretty nutty battle in my opinion. But even here, I'm just going to keep applying pressure, and this is pretty much a good game at this point. He has very little damage done on my tower, and we took a tower, and he already has his tower taken down by half health, so that is good game. That is good game. I was actually really surprised that I was able to beat a full Pekka deck counter like that, especially with it having a Goblin Hut, which even then he should have actually been smart and he should have actually pulled my Goblin Giant with the Goblin Hut. But I mean, hey, this is just good news for me. All right, so in the next battle, he's using a Miner bait deck. Now, as far as I know, I have Magic Archer, I have Poison, I have Dark Prince. I should be doing absolutely fine with this. So now he's going to use his Miner. I'm going to use my Dark Prince. Alright, mistake right here. I didn't know what to do. I kind of hesitated at this point. And even when I, at the last second, started to figure out that my Dark Prince was going to take care of the goblins right there, I used guards. So that's just a big no-no. A big no-no. I kind of wish I had Snowball because I probably would have been able to take everything out in one piece. So now what I'm going to start doing here is I'm going to put my Goblin Giant in the back. He's getting ready his skeleton army, but actually not yet. What he's going to do is he's going to wait till the last second to put down his Inferno Tower. This is actually a good idea, because if you put down your Inferno Tower too early, that lag time's just going to go down and down and down, and that just means less health for your Inferno Tower. Excluding the damage, that would just mean it's like a under-leveled Inferno Tower. So that's a good tip if you're using buildings, by the way. Now watch what he does right here. I'm going to put my Hunter here. At the last second, I'm going to snowball both the skeletons and the Miner, so I can take everything out in one piece without him getting any extra hits. So I'm going to let that Hunter do his thing. And what's he going to do with his Fireball? I think he's choosing to see if I put something down in the back. But I'm going to put down my Dark Prince in the back. Obviously, he isn't going to Fireball that, because that would be a complete waste. I have seen people who have Fireballed my Dark Prince in the back for no apparent reason. But yeah, we're gonna actually get to take care of that Electro Wizard too. He actually overcommitted a little bit, even though the minion horde was actually going to take that out by a large amount. So look at this. Not only did we snowball that Goblin barrel perfectly with it landing no damage at all, but we also got a Miner Guards combo to do a whole bunch of damage on that tower. Right here, we're going to use our Dark Prince to use it on the Miner, and then right as soon as he's killing everybody, he turns around and he starts killing the skeleton army. That is just perfect. And even now that I know he doesn't have log and his zap isn't high enough to, even if it was at max level, it shouldn't be high enough to kill my Dark Prince. I need to put my Goblin Giant in front. He has split minions. I probably shouldn't have used any more elixir than I should have, but it actually works out, because not only do I kill those minions, but the Hunter actually helps kill one of those goblins, leading to no damage on my tower from the Goblin barrel. Once again, I use my Miner, and I use Poison specifically because I know he either has Minion Horde or Scarman. But look at this, not only does he waste his skeleton army, but he also wastes an extra Electro Wizard that just ends up dying. And what else do I need to say? This is just a perfect GG. Instead of using my Snowball there, I just used my my guards and everything else to take care of that, because I really wanted to make sure that the Goblin Giant was guaranteed to take down that tower. So that is good game, and that one was pretty fun. Well, at least pretty fun for me and not for my enemy. Alright, so we're going to go to the loss now, and of course, as you're already looking at the deck, you know this one's going to be a fun one. Yeah, a fun one. Okay. So what I'm sitting here doing right now is, I believe this is the battle where we both use a miner at the same time. Yeah, we both use a miner at the same time. I put my guards here to block off both the Goblin gang and to also damage the miner. And I even used the snowball because if I didn't, that would have just overrun my tower. So far, we got the lead by 200 health, or by 200 damage on his tower. And we got some extra guard pokes, but they're not really going to do much from there. Now here's a big mistake. I should have used my Goblin Giant on the right hand or the left hand lane much sooner. I was trying to make it so that he wouldn't use his tank and he would start to deal with my Goblin Giant sooner. But this was just a big mistake, which would eventually lead to me losing the game. Actually, if I hadn't have done this, I probably would have won the game. So just make sure of that. I was trying to wait until the very last second where the enemy was right about to drop down his tank. But then all of a sudden, a Goblin Giant appears on this side. He's like, oh crap, I gotta go deal with that. But that didn't lead, as you guys saw, that didn't lead to anything good. Heck, if I was more prepared, I could have actually used my Hunter in a better spot if he had a lone Royal Giant, and the Hunter would have actually just 3-shot the Royal Giant right then and there. I'm gonna use, well, we're kind of disadvantaged right here, but I'm gonna show you what I tried to attempt to do. So what I'm going to try and attempt to do here is I'm just going to miner cycle. Fortunately, I have 3-4 elixir cards in my hand, and I also have the Goblin Giant. So I want to start doing right now is I know that he's not going to waste a Royal Giant on this left-hand tower, so he's going to do a Witch push on the other side. So right here is when I use my Goblin Giant, and I also poison the Witch so that she would stay there. But he actually uses his Royal Giant anyways, which kind of leads me into a panic here where I had to put down my Hunter. Now, if you are using Hunter in this deck and you are using the deck wisely and you're not an idiot like me, well, I mean, the only idiot like me, you should be just fine with the Hunter going against the Royal Giant, because it does even more damage per hit than a mini Pekka. Actually, the Hunter itself does more damage per hit than a Pekka for 4 elixir, and that's pretty great. Obviously, there are some health concerns, but this is one of the reasons why I really like the Hunter, because he just obliterates the Royal Giant's health, as you can see right there. This is pretty much a guaranteed loss for me, but again, this is the point where I should have just actually instead of taking my Goblin Giant using on the left-hand lane to anticipate his elixir usage, I should have just buckled up all my troops on the left-hand lane to prepare for that. Now, yeah, that's pretty much what I'm saying here. And of course, we can't go out with a bang with a gold Royal Giant and gold Elite Barbarians deck without a cry emoji. So, I actually really recommend this deck. Even before the buff, I really liked the Goblin Giant for all its mechanics and for everything that I really liked about a tank. I really encourage this deck because I really like high skill cap decks, and I really love the Magic Archer and Hunter, two of my favorite cards right here. And I really recommend this deck. So I want you all to try out this deck. And let me know in the comment section below how it worked out, because I want to see if we can actually get this deck in the meta, because I really enjoy this deck. It really works, and I want to see how you all do with it. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Take care.